What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up, Daniel Barry? What's up, Megan? Um, yeah, it's late night, but it's all good, right? Right. It's never too late to put out awareness.
Never.
Never, never, never.
Nope.
Give it a few minutes before we get started. Let a few people should get here.
I think Harley Dad's doing something tonight too, or something.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Somebody said it earlier on a TV.
Huh?
What did they say?
Hardy Dad was planning on doing something tonight, maybe. I don't know. That Hardy Dad was planning on doing something tonight, maybe.
Yeah, it was on that girl that you guys said you liked, or whatever. Yeah.
I don't remember doing that yet.
Oh, what's up, Mississippi? Everybody, let's give a shout out to Daniel Barry being a GTK member for 7 months straight. Best 99 cents you ever spent in your life in 1 month. Tell you what, right now. Megan, what's up, BP's Corner? Back in the corner, what's up? Amy. I like that, Amy. Fuck the sickos. That's right. I got it. Mississippi. I'm live. Mississippi says, "Hi, Aaron. I'm live too. Wanted to tell you to check your email. I've been held hostage by a winter storm. But get back to me. You got it, Mississippi." Hell yeah, Daniel Barry. Vibrance here, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? What's up? BP or back in the corner is getting ready to smoke a bow. What's up, Adrian? Stiffies here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think we can get started. Let me get a cigarette. Babe, can I get a cigarette real quick? Oh. Oh, I didn't.
Thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm. Love you too.
Move.
Everybody, say thank you to Megan for becoming the newest G2K Get to Know Stop member on the channel. She's best 99, well, probably like $1.50 you ever spent in your life, but I'm just gonna say much appreciated, much appreciated, much appreciated.
There you go, huh?
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate it. Don't ever feel afraid to hit the Cash App or the PayPal up either. I'm just saying. I'm not going to shy away from saying it. People might sound like say it's fucked up to do that, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. It takes my time. It takes energy. It takes effort. It takes all kinds of shit. So hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. If you like. Never expected, but always appreciated. I figured it was about $1.50, Megan. Get this copied here. Just remember, if anybody comes up, this is not an open topic panel. This is about Awareness Monday. And tonight's topic is grooming, the abuse before the abuse. That's faux show. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Grooming, the abuse before the abuse. Tonight, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to talk to you about something that happens in silence. In living rooms, in back seats, in bedrooms, in churches, and even in schools. And now, in the palm of your child's hand, through the screen of the phone. What's up, Cheddar Bob? Tonight, we're talking about grooming. And I want you to understand something before we go any further. Grooming is not a warning sign. Grooming is not almost abuse. Grooming is abuse. It's the moment a predator decides a child is a target. It's the moment they begin to study them. It's the moment they begin to shape them slowly and carefully. Like a thief picking a lock in the dark. Because predators don't usually start with violence. They start with trust. They start with kindness that has teeth. They start with attention that has a price. They start with gifts, with compliments, with jokes, with special time. And before anyone realizes what's happening, the child is already trapped. Not by ropes, not by chains, by confusion, by secrecy, by shame. And if you're sitting there thinking, that couldn't happen to my family, that sentence right there is one of the most dangerous sentences a parent can ever say. Because grooming doesn't knock on the front door wearing a mask. It walks in smiling. And that's why we're doing this episode tonight. Because if you can recognize grooming, you can interrupt it. And if you can interrupt it, you might save a child's life. Now listen to me. Grooming is not one moment. It's a process. It's a strategy. It's a predator building a bridge into a child's life, plank by plank, until the child is standing on the other side, away from safety, away from protection, away from truth, and sometimes away from their own ability to even recognize danger. And the reason grooming is so important to talk about is because people keep asking the same questions. Why didn't they tell? Why didn't they scream? Why didn't they fight? Why did they keep going back? And why did it take them 20 years to speak? And I'm telling you right now, those questions come from a world that doesn't understand grooming. Because when grooming is done right, the predator doesn't need to hold a child down. They hold the child's mind. They hold the child's reality. They hold the child's fear. They hold the child's shame. And most importantly, they hold the child's silence. And by the time the abuse happens, the child is already trained. Not trained like a dog, trained like a hostage, trained to freeze, trained to doubt, and trained to obey, and trained to protect the person harming them. And that sounds impossible to people who've never lived it, but it happens every day. In fact, it's happening as we speak. And it happens because predators do not look like the monsters people imagine. People imagine predators as some stranger in an alley, a man with a hoodie, a man with a knife, someone obvious. But the truth is, predators often look like helpers. They look like the coach, the youth leader, the babysitter, the family friend, the neighbor, the cool uncle, the nice aunt, the sweet woman, the one who always offers rides, the one who always wants to help. The stepdad, very good. Very, very good, Amy. What's up, Wanda? Amy, Wanda, you want to come up and join me? No? Okay. And predators know exactly what they're doing. They don't just groom children, they groom communities, they groom families, they groom parents, they groom trust. Because grooming isn't about sex, grooming is about access, and grooming is about control. Look north to Canada to see how it's done across the nation. BP says, look north to Canada to see how it's done across the nation. It's everywhere. From new gay flag at the bank, pronouns as a label, medication to alter their thinking, teaching, taking, parenting away. I don't have a problem with the rainbow flag myself. I just don't. All right, Wanda. Now I want you to picture this. A predator doesn't walk into a child's life and immediately do the worst thing. They walk into the child's life and they study the child. They look for vulnerability. They look for loneliness. They look for the unmet needs. They look for the kid who is starving for attention. They look for the kid who is quiet. They look for the kid who doesn't have a strong protector. They look for the kid who doesn't feel safe at home. They look for the kid who feels invisible. They look for the kid who would do almost anything just to feel seen. And then they become the one person who sees them. They become the one person who listens. They become the one person who cares. They become the one person who says all the right things. And for a child, that feels like love. It's not. It's a fucking trap. Because when you're a child, you don't have life experience to understand that some kindness is bait. You don't understand that attention can be a weapon. You don't understand that a compliment can be a hook. You just know that someone is finally making you feel like you matter. And predators know that. So grooming often starts with what looks harmless: a gift, a snack, a ride, a joke, a little extra time, a little extra attention, a little extra closeness. And it builds. It builds like a snowball rolling downhill. It builds until the child starts to feel like this predator is part of their world, like they're important, like they're special, like they're chosen. And the predator uses that word in 1,000 different ways without saying it out loud. Special. Because predators love that word. They love to make a child feel like they're not like other kids. They love to make a child feel mature. They love to make a child feel understood. They love to make a child feel like they have a secret connection. Because once a child believes they have a special bond with an adult, well, the predator has already stepped in to a dangerous place. A place where a child's brain begins to confuse attention with love. Now, here's where it gets darker. Grooming doesn't just build trust, grooming builds dependency. A predator learns what the child needs, and then the predator becomes that need. If the child needs affection, the predator gives affection. If the child needs validation, the predator gives validation. If the child needs protection, the predator becomes the protector. If the child needs a friend, yep, the predator becomes the friend. If a child needs a father figure, the predator becomes the father figure. If a child needs someone to talk to, the predator becomes the listener. But it's not real. It's a performance. The child can't see that because children don't think in predator psychology. Children think in survival and emotion. Children think this person is nice to me, and the predators think this child is mine. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Children think in survival and emotion. Children think this think Children think this person is nice to me, and predators think this child is mine. Now I want to talk about the part that makes people uncomfortable. Predators do not just groom the child, they groom their parents too. They groom the adults, they groom the family, they build a reputation shield. They become helpful, they become dependable, they become part of the family. They become the one who always offers to babysit. They become the one who always gives rides. They become the one who always shows up. They become the one who always seems so good with kids. And everybody says it. Oh, he's so good with children. Oh, she's so sweet. Oh, they like the family. Or, oh, we trust them. And predators love that. Because trust is the key that opens the door. Trust is the blindfold. Trust is the silence. Trust is the reason a child won't be believed, because predators are playing a double game. They are building relationships with the child. They are building a reputation with the adults. So that if the child ever speaks, the adult will hesitate. The adults will doubt. The adults will defend the predator. Not because they're evil, because the trust is too painful. Because the trust shatters everything. Or the truth, my bad. Not because they're evil, because the truth is so painful. Because the truth shatters everything. Because the truth means admitting you let someone into your home who hurt your child. And that is one of the hardest realities a parent can face. So the mindset tries to protect itself. And the child becomes the cost. That's why grooming is so effective. It doesn't just trap the child, it traps the whole environment. What's up, SO? Jesus loves little children. All the children of the world, red, yellow, black, and white. They are precious in his sight. Absolutely. Anyway, that's the topic for another day. We are here to talk about predators, not gay pride. Thank you, Amy. Now let's break down how grooming works in real life. It usually begins with targeting. Predators look for opportunity. They look for the kid who's always around, the kid who's always alone, the kid who's always hanging out after practice, the kid who stays late, the kid who doesn't have a ride, the kid whose parents are busy, the kid whose parents are struggling, the kid whose parents are absent, the kid whose parents are addicted, the kid whose parents don't pay attention, the parent whose parents don't ask questions. We find in a reoccurrence here in a particular word here: parents, guardians, parents. The kid who doesn't have someone checking on them. And then the predator moves in. And the predator doesn't move in like a criminal. They move in like a friend, like a mentor, a helper. And then comes trust. Trust is built with small things: a compliment, a laugh, conversation, you're really smart, you're really mature, I can tell you're different, I get you, I understand you. And to a child, that feels like a lifeline. And then comes the next step: boundary testing. This is where predators begin to test what they can get away with. And they don't start with the worst thing. They start with the smallest thing: a touch on the shoulder, a hug that lasts too long, sitting too close, tickling, wrestling, a hand on the knee, a joke, a comment about their body, a comment about relationships, a comment about sex. And they watch. They watch the child's reaction. They watch whether the child pulls away. They watch whether the child freezes. They watch whether the child laughs nervously. They watch whether the child says anything. And predators are experts at reading silence, because silence is permission in their mind. Not real permission, but permission to escalate. And when the child doesn't speak, the predator goes a little further next time. And a little further. And a little further. And slowly, the predator moves the goalposts. They make the abnormal feel normal. They make the uncomfortable feel familiar. They make the child's discomfort feel like something the child is supposed to ignore. And that is one of the most devastating parts of grooming. Because it teaches a child to distrust their instincts. It teaches them to override their own, this feels wrong. It teaches them to accept discomfort as normal. And when a child learns to ignore their own alarm system, they become easier to exploit. Now here's the part people need to understand. A child's brain does not respond to trauma the way adults expect. Let me repeat that. A child's brain does not respond to trauma the way adults expect. Adults expect a child to scream, to run, to fight. But trauma often triggers the body's survival response: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And grooming trains the child into freeze and fawn. Freeze, the child goes still. And fawn, the child tries to please. Because the predator has positioned themselves as someone powerful, someone trusted, someone who can punish, someone who can destroy their life, someone who can destroy their family, someone who can make them look like the bad guy. And when the child is trapped in that, they don't fight. They survive. They comply. They shut down. They go numb. They dissociate. And the predator counts on that. Because grooming is not impulsive. Grooming is calculated. Grooming is a strategy. Grooming is the predator who slowly builds the cage. I need to take a couple minute break, guys. Amy says, I fawned. I was also told I would never see my best friend again if I spoke up. So I was quiet for a couple of years. That's horrible, Amy. Okay, give me a minute. Sorry, I had to feed my face. National Child Abuse Hotline, USA, open 24/7. If you or a child you know is being abused, please reach out. You are not alone. 1-800-422-4453. Thank you, Amy. I'll leave that up there for a little while. Now we need to talk about isolation. Isolation is one of the biggest steps in grooming because predators don't want witnesses. They don't want interference. They don't want protection. They want access. So they isolate. Sometimes physically, they get alone time. They create special trips. They offer rides. They offer sleepovers. They offer private training. They offer private lessons. They offer just us time. And sometimes isolation is emotional. They isolate the child from their parents by planting seeds. They say things like, your parents don't understand you. Your parents are too strict. Your parents are controlling. Your parents don't appreciate you. Your parents don't get you. You can tell me anything. I'm the only one who really listens. And a child, especially a child who already feels misunderstood, starts to believe it. And once a child starts to believe that believe that the predator is the only person safe, or is the only safe person, the predator has won something huge. Because now the predator isn't just an abuser, they're the child's trusted person. And that's the most dangerous kind of predator. Because when abuse happens from someone the child trusts, the child's mind fractures. Because the child is now living in a contradiction. The person is hurting me, but this person is also my comfort. This person is violating me, but this person is also my support. This person is terrifying, but this person is also the one who says they love me. And that contradiction creates trauma bonding. It creates loyalty to the abuser. It creates confusion. It creates shame. It creates silence. Because the child doesn't just fear the predator, they fear losing the relationship. And people hate hearing that. People hate hearing that a child can feel attachment to an abuser, but it's real. A groomer is, and grooming is how it happens. Now let's talk about sexualizing the relationship. Predators rarely start with rape. They start with normalizing sexual topics. They introduce sex into conversation. They trust the child's reaction. They make jokes. They ask questions. They show content. They push boundaries. They make you feel like it's not a big deal. They say things like everybody's doing this. Everybody thinks about this. This is normal. You're not a kid anymore. You're mature. You can handle it. Don't be weird. Don't be childish. And the child is trapped because the child is being manipulated to feel shame for having boundaries. And when a child feels shame for having boundaries, they start letting those boundaries collapse. That's what grooming does. It collapses the walls. Give me 1 minute again, guys. Ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, guys. No, sorry. I'm hungry. I haven't ate anything but a sandwich all day today. And my tacos are done. So. Now we need to talk about the weapon predators use more than anything. Secrecy. Predators love secrets. Because secrecy is how they stay safe. Predators will say things like, "This is just between us. If you tell, you'll get in trouble. If you tell, nobody will believe you. If you tell, you'll ruin my life. If you tell, your family will fall apart. If you tell, your parents will hate you. If you tell, you'll be taken away. If you tell, I'll hurt someone. If you tell, I'll hurt you." And the fucked up part about that, the child believes it. Because a child doesn't have adult reasoning. A child doesn't know the system. A child doesn't know the law. A child doesn't know that predators are lying. A child only knows fear. And predators know exactly how to make fear feel like a prison. And then comes the worst part. The moment the child starts to believe it's their fault. Oh, fuck. This is hard. Because grooming is designed to create self-blame. Predators manipulate children into thinking, "I wanted it. I didn't stop it. I didn't scream. I didn't run. I went back. I let them. I must be dirty. I must be broken. I must be bad." And that is one of the deepest wounds abuse creates. Not just what it does, but what the child believes about themselves afterward. Now let's talk about why children don't tell. Because this is where society constantly fails survivors. People say, if it happened, they should have told. No, fuck that. Many children don't tell because of grooming. They don't tell because they're scared. They're ashamed. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to ruin their family. They don't want to destroy their parents. They don't want to lose the only person who makes them feel loved. They don't want to be blamed. They don't want to be called a liar. They don't want to be punished. They don't even have the words to explain it. And sometimes children don't tell because they don't even understand what's happening. Sometimes they only understand later. Sometimes the body remembers before the mind can process. Sometimes they dissociate so hard that the memory becomes fog. And then, years later, something triggers it. A smell, a song, a scene in a movie, a comment, a moment. And suddenly the survivor is hit with the truth like a train. And then people say, "Why now?" Because trauma doesn't run on a fucking schedule. Because the mind locks away what it cannot survive. Because the brain protects the child until the adult has the strength to face it. That's why. What's up, Chapman? Sorry, give me a moment. Oh, that one was rough. Sorry, that one was a little bit of a tough section for me. Now let's talk about the grooming of communities. Because predators don't operate in a vacuum. They pick environments where people don't talk about these things. They pick environments where people protect reputation. They pick environments where people avoid discomfort. Environments where people worship authority. They pick environments where people shame victims. They pick environments where people don't believe children. They pick environments where people say, we don't have that problem here. And the predators love those environments. Because silence is their best friend. Now I want to shift to online grooming. I think this is more prevalent today than any other time in our history. Online grooming. Because we are living in a world where predators do not need physical access first. They can build that grooming relationship through a screen. They can do it through gaming, through Discord, through Snapchat, through Instagram, through TikTok, through other messaging apps. And online grooming follows the same pattern. They find a child, they flatter the child, they become a friend, they become a confidant. They move the conversation to private. They introduce secrets. They introduce sexual talk. They ask for pictures. They ask for videos. And then they weaponize it. This is sextortion. And sextortion is killing kids, literally. Because once a predator has one picture, they own the child's fear. Oh, look at that. Hardy Dad coming in as a G2K member for 21 months now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for that, Hardy Dad. I appreciate it. They say, send me more or I'll post it. Send me more or I'll send it to your parents. Send me more or I'll send it to your school. Send me more or I'll ruin you. And kids panic. Kids feel trapped. Kids feel like their life is over. And some kids do the unthinkable. They take their own life. Because they don't see a way out. Some parents, I'm telling you right now. Parents, I'm telling you right now. This is not paranoia. This is the modern reality. And the only defense is awareness. What's up, Party Dad? Oh, Beast Mode coming in. First time member.
Awesome.
Thanks, Beast Mode. I appreciate the membership, man.
That's awesome.
And now let's talk about red flags. Because this is where we can actually prevent things. Red flags in adults. If an adult always wants to be alone with a child, that is not normal. If an adult has a favorite child, that is not normal. If an adult gives gifts and money and special treatment, that is not normal. If an adult is messaging a child privately, not normal. If an adult insists on secrecy, that's not normal. If an adult pushes physical affection, again, not normal. If an adult talks about sex around kids, that is not normal. If an adult is consistently trying to be the child's emotional support, not normal. If an adult gets defensive when questioned, again, not normal. I'm going to say something else too that people don't like hearing. If an adult is consistently positioning themselves as a victim, that is often a manipulation tool. Predators love to say, people always misunderstood me. People are always accusing me. I'm just being nice. I'm just trying to help. And the truth is, healthy adults do not need private relationships with children. Healthy adults do not need children emotionally. Healthy adults do not create secret bonds with kids. Now, red flags for children, and probably the most of importance. The child might not say a word, but their body will talk. Their behavior will talk. Their eyes will talk. Watch for sudden withdrawal, sudden anger, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, nightmares, bedwetting, sexual knowledge beyond their years, sudden secrecy, fear of a specific person, refusing to go somewhere, sudden drop in grades, self-harm, substance use, changes in sleep, changes in appetite. And listen, a child doesn't have to say, I was abused, to be screaming for help. Sometimes the scream is silent. Sometimes the scream is rage. Sometimes the scream is self-destruction. Now, what do we do with all this? We talk. We teach. We create safety. We create open doors. We teach children body autonomy. We teach children the difference between secrets and surprises. We teach children that they can say no. We teach children that no adult should ever ask them to keep secrets from their parents. I fucking hate secrets. We teach children that they will never be punished for telling the truth. And parents, if your child tells you something, your reaction is everything.
Oh, the Gen X here. The Gen X here.
Because a child will test you. They will give you a small piece first. What's up, Gen X? Holy shit, bro.
You didn't hear me say that?
No, babe.
Oh, yeah, you said that. Long time no see.
Always Gen X. Sure wish you'd come around more often, man. I got some stories to tell you, bro. They will give a small piece first. And if you explode, if you panic, if you interrogate, if you blame, if you doubt, the child may never speak about it again. So you have to be the safe place, not the storm. And I know that's hard, but that's what children need. Now I want to talk about the good person trap. Because this is where society fails. People say, he's a good guy. She's a good woman. He's always helping. She's so sweet. He would never. Listen to me. Holy fuck. Beast mode. Beast mode. 20 gifted memberships from Beast Mode, man.
Aww. That's awesome. Beast mode, thanks. That's
awesome. Appreciate it.
Now listen. A predator's greatest weapon is their reputation. A predator's greatest disguise is being trusted. A predator's greatest shield is your denial. And denial isn't stupidity. Denial is fear. Because it's terrifying to admit that someone you know could do something like that. But predators count on that fear. They count on you not They count on you not wanting to believe it. They count on you choosing comfort over truth. And comfort is how kids get hurt. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys this one right now. This one's going to be pretty difficult for me to get through, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now, I want to speak directly to survivors for a minute. If you're watching this and you're realizing that what I'm describing is what happened to you, I need you to hear me clearly. You were a child. You did not choose it. You did not want it. You were manipulated. You were groomed. And grooming is why you might still feel confused. This is why you might still feel shame. This is why you might still feel dirty. This is why you might still feel guilty. Because grooming was designed to put the blame on you. But the blame belongs exactly where it belongs. On the adult who knew better. On the adult who chose to do it. On the adult who stole something from you. I'm going to end this with something I need everybody to understand. Grooming is one of the most evil things a human can do. Because it doesn't just steal a child's body. It steals their compass. It steals their ability to know what safe feels like. It teaches them that love can hurt. That attention comes with a price. That their boundaries don't matter. And that silence is survival. And the tragedy is, a lot of people still think abuse starts the moment someone touches a child. No. Abuse often starts long before that. It starts when an adult begins building a relationship with a child for one reason: access. If you take anything from this video tonight, take this, please. If an adult is creating secrets with a child, that is not harmless. If an adult needs a child's emotion, if an adult needs a child emotionally, That is not harmless. If an adult is consistently seeking alone time with a child, that is not harmless. If an adult is making a child feel special in a way that separates them from others, that is not harmless. That is a trap being built. And I'm asking you, as a parent, as a friend, as a family member, as a human being, don't wait for proof. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to discomfort. Pay attention to the child who suddenly changes. Pay attention to the adult who always seems to be there. Because predators don't need you to be stupid. They just need you to be trusting. And if you're a survivor watching this, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not weak. You are not dirty. You are not responsible for what happened to you. You were a child, they were an adult, and they knew exactly what they were doing. So tonight, don't just watch this video, share it, talk about it, bring it into the light, because the more people understand grooming, the less safe predators become. This is Get to Know Stop, and this is Awareness Monday, and I'll see you guys next time.
I'll read the comments. Read the comments, Ben.
I got you. I'm listening.
Amazing. You guys are amazing. You guys are so awesome.
I appreciate it, Beast Mode.
I love all of you. All of you are just amazing people. Amazing.
What's up, ATS? I'm getting out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at all the support. It's awesome.
It is amazing. I do want to say I appreciate all you guys supporting this channel and supporting me and my idea, my cause, and I love all you guys, man. This is Get to Know Stop. We as a community, we are stopping it. We are standing tough on pedophilia, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do. Again, awareness can stop so many bad things from happening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Get to Know Stop. Take care of each other. And one more thing. Remember,